VaPro no-touch intermittent catheters with a protective tip, cap and sleeve are the only catheters that provide 100% no-touch protection. What's more, 50% of intermittent catheter users reported less frequent urinary tract infections after changing to VaPro catheters. We asked an independent scientific laboratory to test our latest generation of VaPro catheters with HydroBalance lubricating technology against Coloplast SpeediCath Flex catheters and Luja catheters. These 3 tested catheters all have a protective sleeve, but only VaPro catheters have a protective tip. VaPro catheters have 2 smooth, rounded eyelets to effectively drain urine from the bladder. The SpeediCath Flex also has 2 eyelets, but the Luja catheter has 80+ micro holes. What difference does this make? In order to test the protective effects of the catheters as objectively, realistically, and reproducibly as possible, the researchers used an established test method that has proven itself in previous studies. These 3 tested catheters had the same Charrière size. As one of the most relevant uropathogenic bacterial species, E. coli was chosen for testing. E. coli are gram-negative bacteria that account for about 75% of uncomplicated urinary tract infection cases and have a high propensity for antimicrobial resistance. To simulate the bacteria on the skin, the researchers inoculated gloves with a precisely defined concentration of bacteria. With these gloves, the researchers inserted the respective catheter into the urethra of an anatomical silicon penis model. The silicon model was also prepared. The researchers inoculated a precisely defined quantity of bacteria into the distal opening to simulate colonization of the urethra. The rest of the model was sterile. The researchers then pushed the catheter through the model, following the instructions for use of the respective manufacturer. When the catheter exited on the other end of the urethral model, they cut off 2 segments, each 5 centimeters long. Upon withdrawal of the catheter, they also cut 2 5-centimeter segments from the protective tip and sleeve. The entire cap was also tested. They then counted how many bacteria adhered to the respective segments. Multiple researchers repeated this process 9 times for each catheter model. What are the results of this thorough testing? As expected, millions of microbes were transferred from the contaminated gloves to the protective segments tested. This was the same for all catheter models. But did microbes land on the catheter itself? Let's take a look at the results. If you compare the segments of each catheter after they had been pushed through the urethral model, there were differences. VaPro catheters provided superior protection in reducing microbial contamination to effectively 0. On average, microbial contamination was significantly greater for both SpeediCath Flex catheters and Luja catheters compared to VaPro catheters in the first 5 centimeter segments of the catheters. SpeediCath Flex catheters and Luja catheters demonstrated 88 times and 480 times as many microbes as VaPro catheters, respectively. In the worst case, this could potentially cause urinary tract infections. So, VaPro catheters' combination of protective tip, cap and sleeve offered the best protection against the transfer of microbes that may cause urinary tract infections. And with HydroBalance lubricating technology, VaPro catheters glide effortlessly for ease of use, giving you confidence and more time for living.